can't wait to start this lesson. Get ready. Good morning, guys. 7th graders. We're going to discuss conversions between customary and metric system. Okay, so it's kind of like going from miles to meters. We use customary because that is what we are accustomed to. And then we're going to convert to the metric system, which is what pretty much the entire rest of the world uses. It's not hard. It's going to be a lot like what we did when we were converting between like going from inches to feet or miles to inches. Okay, so it's a lot like that. I do have a conversion cheat sheet that's in Google Classroom. It will be under important information and tidbits, and I will also have it located in today's lesson. You may want to go back and forth. I'm going to try my first time doing a video and then trimming it and putting in a screen recording of the cheat sheet. This will help you so you don't have to Google how many meters are in 1 mile. This should help. All right, so let's get started. All right, this is our first example. You are going to want to have scratch paper. All right, so what we're going to do is it's going to be very similar to what we did a couple weeks ago by the time you're watching this. And we are going to convert from meters to yards. And so what this is, you know, like when you run on the track, 1 lap around the track is 400 meters, okay? But that's not how Americans measure distance typically. We measure distance through the customary system, which is feet, miles, inches. We also are accustomed to gallons, pints, quarts. Well, the metric system, which is the entire rest of the world, uses centimeters, meters, milliliters, liters, okay? So that's the difference. So this is why this is kind of difficult. It's not like we can say, oh, I know there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile, all right? This is going from a whole nother system that the other world uses and then transferring it to what we use. Kind of like if I spoke Spanish and I wanted to translate it to English. That's the difference in these systems. You know, you got a Spanish system and an English system, or a German system, speaking German, and translating it into English. So that's basically what we're doing. We're taking something that the other part of the world uses, and we're translating it into something that us Americans, we understand. So I hope that that helps you. So I'm going to pause this video, or I'm going to cut in this video through my editing software, and I'm going to do a screen recording of the little conversion chart. The conversion chart is going to be located in important information and tidbits in my resources in Google Classroom, and it will also be in today's lesson, so it'll be easy for you to find. All right, so we are going to get started. Okay, so if we look at this, here is the customary to metric conversion system cheat sheet. And I found this in your textbook, which is available online. And we are going centimeters to, we're going meters to yards. I apologize. So I'm going to look over here and I see yards and then I see meters. And I see right here that 1 yard is about equal to 0.91 meters or 9,100 meters. Now, this is always going to be like this. It means about equal to, and that is because a lot of times, for example, in the English language, we may say a word and there's not a word for it in the Spanish language, or there's not really a word for it in the German language, and it doesn't translate clean. So that's why we say about equal to, okay? So just make sure that you know that we're using the 1 yard is about equal to 0.91 meters. All right. So the first thing we need to do is set it up. All right, so let's look at our conversion chart. Okay, when I looked at my conversion chart, it was like a ratio. And I saw that 1 meter is about equal to 0.91 yards. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. Wrong. 1 yard. 1 yard, sorry, is equal to about 0.1 meters. I apologize. All right, so we're wanting to go from 182 meters, and we want to go to yards, okay? And this is just over 1. All right, so I can cancel out my meters. All right, so now when I multiply this across, I have 1.82 over 0.91. All right, so I'm going to have to divide that. Kind of scary, huh? Not for us. All right, so we have 182, and we're going to divide that by 0.91. Now, hopefully you guys remember that we just moved this decimal 2 places because we can't divide by a decimal, so we got to turn to whole number. Now, golden rule of algebra. What you do to the outside, you got to do the inside. What you do to the left side, you got to do the right side of the equal sign. What you do to the top, you got to do the bottom. So this follows us. All right, so we're going to move this decimal straight up. All right, now, 91 into 182. I'm going to guess, and I'm going to round this to 90 because it's really close, and I'm going to say 90 times 2 is 180. So I'm hoping that if I do times 2, that will be easy. So let's see. 91 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Look at that. Perfect Cinderella fit. That shoe fits just like Cinderella. All right, so when we did the conversion, we got that 1 and 82 hundredths, or 1.82 meters, is about equal to 2 yards. Okay, and there's another kind of way that you could do this, is you could, but you have to be aware of what is bigger. Is meters bigger than yards? And yes, meters are bigger than yards, so you know that you have to divide. And if you looked at the 0.91, we know that this number needs to be bigger because yards are smaller than meters. Okay, so we know this needs to be bigger. So this is less than 1, so we would need to divide in order to make this a bigger number. Okay, so that may be a little more difficult for you, so you may want to just stick with the way I just did it. Okay. All right, so we're going to do 1 more or 2 more examples. All right, so now we're going to do something kind of similar. So now we're going yards to meters. All right, so we know that yards are a little bit smaller than meters. Or they're smaller than meters. So this number needs to be smaller than this number, right? We know that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at our conversion chart, and I'm about to pause the video in just a second. We're going to look at our conversion chart again, even though we do remember that it is 0.91, but we're going to look at our conversion chart. We're just going to double check, and then we're going to come back, okay? This is just like last time. This is not probably necessary if we took notes, but we're going from yards to meters, so we're going to use the same conversion at 1 yard is about equal to 0.91 meters. Okay, so we know that 1 yard is about equal to, we know that we're going to meters. Sorry, so meters need to be on top. But I need to get rid of yards, so I know yards have to be on bottom, up here. All right, and I know I want it, this actually needs to be yards. Sorry. Let's see, if I do 6.8 yards, and I need to get rid of yards. I need to get rid of them, and I know my goal is meters. So we know it's 0.91 meters is equivalent to 1 yard, okay? Because remember, our goal is to get to meters, so we need to get rid of these. So these cross out, right? So at this point, we need to do 6.8 times 0.91, okay? This is a lot easier than dividing. 6.8 times 0.91, all right? So 8 times 1 is 8. 6 times 1 is 6, 0. 8 times 9 is 72. The 2 can stay. The 7 got to go. 6 times 9 is 54, plus 7, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. Okay, so we got 61. All right. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. 1, 6. Okay, so I've got to move my decimal 1, 2, 3 places, correct? 1, 2, 3. So 6.188. Now, if they ask you to round it to the nearest tenth, this 8 makes that a 9. So technically it'd be 6.19 meters, because 2 is the magic number when rounding decimal places. Not really sure why, but if they're asking you to round 2 decimal places, that would bounce that up. Okay, so if you did not get this right or you're super confused, pause, raise your hand, I can come help you. Or if you're virtual, email me and I will jump on a Google Meets. We've got one more example and then we're good to go. Okay, we're at our last example for the day. So make sure that maybe at this point you want to try to set this up and see if you can set it up on your own and then work it out. And you can use the cheat sheet that's in Google Classroom, obviously. So try to set this up and see if you can work it out correctly first. So pause it, try to set it up, then come back to me, and then we will see how you did, okay? And if you did not do good at this point is when I need to intervene and come help. If you don't tell me you need help, there's no way I can know that you need help. I'm not a psychic, okay? So, unfortunately, if I was a psychic, I'd be super rich, but not. All right, so what we're going to do is you're going to pause, try to set this up. This is pounds. 14.3 pounds is about equal to how many kilograms? So when you look at your conversion chart, you're going to look at pounds to kilograms, okay? So pause the video, try to set this up, then see if you set it up correctly, and then we'll go from there, okay? So I'm going to give you a chance to pause the video. All right, so we need to first look and see how many pounds are in a kilogram, okay? So I'm going to insert a video right here, a screen recording of the cheat sheet. Okay guys, in this example, we're using and going from pounds to kilograms. So we're going to look, we know that pounds is weight and mass, so I'm going to come here and I see, okay, 1 pound, that's grams, but that's not what I'm going to. I'm going to kilograms. So I'm going from 1 pound, and it's about equal to, 0.4536 kilograms, okay? This is going to be a hefty little problem here, but don't worry, you've got me to help. So we're going to use this measurement. So you may want to write this down on your scratch paper, 0.4536, just so you don't have to come back to it. All right. All right, so what we learned in that little video, that screen recording, okay, so our goal is to go from pounds to kilograms, okay? So I need to cross out pounds. So I need to have 1 down here, and I know that it is about equal to 4536, decimal 4536, okay? And we're talking about 14.3 pounds, all right? So we cross out pounds. Now we're going to multiply these, okay? And I'm actually going to move my camera down a little bit because that might be a lot of work to do. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm going to multiply. This is only 3 digits and this is 4 digits. So for my sanity, I'm putting the bigger one on top, or the one with more numbers. So we've got 0.4536. This is where a calculator would come in real handy, but you're not allowed to use one. All right, and then we're multiplying by 14.3. 0.3. Now, I line my numbers up, but not my decimals. I'm ignoring my decimals till the end, and I'm going to end up at the end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal places. All right. So, first thing we're going to do is 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. The 8 can stay. The 1 gots to go. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. The 0 can stay. The 1 gots to go. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. The 6 can stay. The 1 gots to go. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 plus 1 is 13. Okay? So I'm done with that. And I'm going to get rid of these so I don't get confused. All right, so next I'm doing 6 times. I got to drop an egg or whatever y'all used to call it. 6 times 4 is 24. The 4 can stay, but the 2 gots to go. All right, now, 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 2 is 14. The 4 can stay. The 1 gots to go. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. The 1 can stay. The 2 gots to go. And 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 plus 2 is 18. Okay? Now, done with this, I've got to drop down 2 eggs now. All right? This one is going to be super easy. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 4 is 4. Okay. And I'm going to add all these up. 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. The 6 can stay. The 1 gots to go. 3 and 3 is 6, and 6 plus 2 is 8. And then we have, we can do 9 and 5 is 14. The 4 can stay. The other 1 gots to go, and 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 plus 4 is 6. All right, now, I'm not done because I got to move my decimals. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. Decimal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would be equivalent to, hold on, 6, 4, 8, 6, 8, 6, 4, 8. Okay, but if I'm rounding, now you can't see that. Jeez Louise. All right, so I'm going to go 2 decimal places, and I can see that the 6 is going to bump the 8 up to a 9. So it'd be 6.49 kilograms. Okay, guys, I hope that this was not super confusing to you, because I know that this is kind of confusing going from German to English, French to English, Spanish to English. I get it, and it doesn't always translate really well. So like sometimes there's words in English, and there's not a Spanish word for that. So it doesn't really translate very well. So that's why we have this little sign right here, because it means about equal to. Because sometimes it's not perfect, okay? So if you have questions, raise your hand, because you are doing a quizzes assignment over this.